Hey, welcome back to Push the Line. It's your boy Jay from the K. Today, we're going to talk about interview preparation. All right, so let's dig in. So let's look at this here. So preparation for your interviewing. So you want to customize your spiel. Um, it's also called a 30-second commercial. So basically what that is a technique on how to answer the question that you're always going to get in an interview. The first question they're always going to ask you is, tell me about yourself. Okay. So they're looking for certain things when they ask you this question. They're not really asking, where were you born and raised? What are your favorite foods and hobbies and things like that? They don't want to know all that. They don't even care to know really about your marital status, how many children you have. That kind of stuff is not really what they're asking about. Okay. So they're talking about certain core things that give them a lot of information about you. And it should line up with your resume and your cover letter. So they really want to know what your skills and your experiences are. That's what they're really asking about. Okay, so there's a way to go about answering that question. All right, and so what you will need to do is take some time to write down some of those skills and traits that you have. Write down your work history. Think about some of the companies that you really perform very well at. Some of those specialized skills that you have, some of the training that you have, some of the licensing and certifications that you have. Those are the things they want to hear about. They want to hear about what your next steps are with those experiences that you have and those skills that you have. What are you planning to do with that? They want to know how can they monetize your skills, your talents, your abilities, and your experience. Okay, like I told you before, whenever you're interviewing, this is a business transaction. You are selling this company your time, skills, and ability, and your experience for compensation. Okay, and so that's what they're in the market for: is your skills and your experience. That's what they're asking for. All right. You also want to customize your responses because they're going to be asking you some questions, and the questions they're asking are uh, tailor made for the interview process. A lot of places have scripted interview questions that they have to ask. Right. I know we had about 20 questions we would ask in interviews. All right, so everyone had to go through those same questions. We take notes about according to how you responded to those questions. Okay, but those questions are designed to open you up and to glean information out of you. Okay, so you have to understand that. All right, so you want to have responses that you've tailor made, you've prepared because it shows that you're prepared. It makes you even more confident when you go into an interview that you already know what you're going to say if they say this. Okay, it makes you a lot more confident. And we're going to look at some examples later on of what that looks like when a person's prepared versus unprepared. Okay, so also you want to do some company research. Right, I used to always tell people, like, when you go to an interview, if you're sitting in that person's chair and you don't know anything about the company, they're going to think you're wasting their time, and you're going to come off desperate. Like, why are you really here? Right? Are you here because you want to work with this company and fit into our corporate culture? You identify with something about our business, or are you just here for a paycheck? All right, because if you are here for a paycheck, they don't really want you anyway, because you're looking for the biggest buck you can get. They're looking for an employee who's going to be a part of the company for years to come. And so you're already shooting yourself in the foot in that instance, okay? So also, you want to arrive about 10 to 15 minutes early. Not really much more than that, okay? But arriving 10 to 15 minutes early gives you some time to kind of calm down, relax, to get some of those jitters out. You know what I mean? All right. Now, also, with that 10 to 15 minutes of early arrival time, you have to make sure that you understand that your interview begins in the parking lot. Okay, so you need to exercise some parking lot etiquette. Okay, don't pull up with music blaring. Uh, you gotta be careful about how you show up because people are paying attention. Okay, you may be driving past the person's office that you're going to be interviewing with while you're bumping your favorite hit song or whatever, and it may be something that they're not really into, right? And so you have to think about that kind of stuff. All right. Also, you got to have some lobby etiquette. Sorry about that. So the lobby etiquette. What am I talking about here? I'm talking about when you're sitting in the lobby waiting to see the person that you're going to interview with. The receptionist is watching you. The people walking past you, saying good morning to you, and all that. they are paying attention to you, right? But specifically, the receptionist is paying attention to you. The receptionist is a part of HR, right? So their antennas are always up, watching people as they come and go and they interact. Okay, so you have to be mindful of that. There's people coming by and they're saying good morning. If you're not a morning person, you got to do your best not to be grumpy. You got to be polite, sit up straight, not fidgeting, not on your phone scrolling and looking and listening to videos or music or whatever that you probably shouldn't be doing. It's not appropriate at that time, right? So you want to come off as focused, prepared, relaxed. So you want to make sure that you are modeling that when you're in the lobby. Okay. So greet the receptionist again, because the receptionist is part of HR, and so that person also it can be a determining factor if you get the job or not. How so? Because once the hiring manager has interviewed with you, they're likely to walk you out, tell you goodbye, but upon walking you out and seeing you away, they may turn to the receptionist and say, "What do you think about that person?" Now, this is the receptionist who's been watching you. If you came 20, 30 minutes early, they've been watching you in the lobby the whole time. They watch how you interact. They listen to how you talk. They watch your mannerisms and body language. So you have to be careful about that. Make sure your receptionist becomes your friend. All right. So in the interview, you want to focus on your skills and your strengths, because again, that's what we're in business for. We're in business. We're in this business transaction, selling our skills and our experience to them. Okay. So that's what we want to focus on. Keep your answers work related. We don't want to talk about anything that's outside of work, really, because I'm here to work. I'm not here to be your best friend and all that. I'm here to work. So we want to make sure our answers are work related. Ask questions. So this is one that I've heard a lot of HR executives say, that when a person doesn't ask questions, they don't get the job. You can have all the skills, you can have all the qualifications and all the experiences, but sometimes because you don't ask questions, you seem like you're not interested in working there. And so they don't have time for you. Okay, I've literally heard HR executives say that a person doesn't ask questions, I take the resume, drop it in the trash. And you don't want that to be you, okay? All right, so close the deal. So that means just ask. Ask, what's the next step? Can I follow up with you? Okay, make sure you do that, because if you're not, you're still seeming like you don't really want the job. Okay, so be mindful of that. Always ask for the deal. Close the deal that way. All right, another thing. This is a little tip that will help you stand out from the rest of the people, the rest of the applicants, and the rest of the people interviewing. Okay, so this is like a sneaky little trick, but it works. All right, and it's an old school thing. But after you interview, send them a thank you card. 24 hours later, maybe 48, send them a thank you card, or go down and take the card to the hiring manager, or drop it off with the HR, the representative, the receptionist there at the front desk. If he's not available, he or she's not available, leave it with them, right? Why are we doing this? Because this is going to cause that person to, first of all, it's making you likable. And something that I've learned from a HR exec is that people do things for people they like. Okay, so it makes you likable. It's flattering, and people like to be flattered. And it shows you that you appreciated their time, you valued their time speaking with them, so you take them serious, right? And so it's just a nice little touch. But also what it does is that person is going to keep that thank you card, and they're most likely going to put it with your resume and application. Okay, well, your resume. And I've had HR people tell me that they kept a drawer with all the thank you cards and the thank you letters and things like that from interviewees. They kept them. And I'm talking people who have been in the business for 30 years, and they had 30 years worth of thank you cards, and they still have them, and they're retired. That's how much of impact that makes. Okay, so don't sleep on the thank you card. Utilize it to your advantage. All right, so those are the steps to how to prepare for an interview. All right, so hopefully you got something out of that. Before you go, make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos. And as always, be blessed.